Hello there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Marshall here. And I'm bringing you a 1 versus 1 between I Am a Star and Yola, That Son of a Broom. So, in other words, this is That Son of a Broom versus Pain, I believe is the chap's name. For Mr. Pink. He's going to be player 1. And we're playing on steps. An orbital system with a big starting planet with a lot of metal. The next planet out, though, is a bit smaller, requires 4 Halleys to smash. Has 35 metal on it. Nice and mirrored there. And then, yet further out, we have a little moon here, Summit. 2 Halleys, 11 metal. But is the collision machine. Pardon me. So, let's have a look around the main planet here. Steps, or base rather. The spawn covers all of this mechs here. All 8. And so that son of a broom has decided to start next to the forwardmost 2, going bot first into air. Meanwhile, down on the south, Pain has decided to spawn to the easternmost triple, going bots into air, into vehicles, air, and then heavy vehicles. So because of the size of this map, I would expect a lot of striker play from Pain over here, because, of course, strikers are the fast vehicle, all the other ones are really quite slow. They pack a bit of a punch though, so what he will be able to do, theoretically, is expand and secure expansion as long as he's not overzealous with it. It'll all depend, because he might decide to go a sort of slower push while getting into the orbital game. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, that son of a broom, though, not going up for his 3rd factory yet. Most curious, 3 fabs coming out, split by 2 docks, so they're going to be protecting. This docks will be running along just in case there's a boom bot that decides to show up. That's a way that higher up players seek to snipe fabricators earlier on in the game. They'll pop out a quick boom bot from a bot factory, run it across the map with a Firefly Air Scout, like this from Pain, and they'll look for fabbers that are bunched up like this. If you have no way of stopping a boombot killing your fabs, split your fabs up so the boombot doesn't kill them all with its splash damage. Triple fabs, though, from Pain, all going in the same direction, which is one advantage of spawning off to the side, is all your expansion is in the same direction. You don't need to worry about things coming in the different directions. Here we go, look! Pain coming in with a lovely boombot. Burp. Which way is he going? He's going towards the fabbers because he knows where the fabbers are. The problem is, he's got 2. Loads of docks coming over though from Broom, so he's aware. He will have seen the Firefly and think, uh-oh, okay. There's boombots out and about. And because of the size of this planet, boombots are actually quite good and quite quick at being able to deal with things. But there we go, Broom has seen the booms. Broom's booms. Broom's anti-booms, and there we go. They will get taken down by this Icarus. Nice. And simple. Broom, though, going into the orbital space in his build queue. Pain not doing so, as we can see from the lower picture there. Who instead, as I suggested, was going to push out a bit slower and get some proxies up. With his vehicle play there. I wonder if this is a Broom proxy or a Pain proxy. I wonder. Possibly a Broom, given that it's on that side of the map. Pain, though, going for this one, but going the long way about it. Most interesting. I must admit, I haven't really seen many games on this map. It's one from last season, so it's not current season at the moment. Pain expanding in so many different directions, so even if he loses a fab here, like he will do... Oh, yeah, there he goes. you know, even if he lost fabs here, he'd still have expansions going off in different directions. Which is another thing to take from these high-level games is, you know, have a few different expansion trains going at once, as long as you can afford it, of course. You don't want to build like 10 different fabricators to expand into 10 different directions, because that defeats the purpose. You'll be spending so much on expansion that it just slows itself down and negates itself, so we'll just have to watch out for that. There we go, heavy strikers as predicted from Pain coming in, taking out a couple of mechs there. Looks like it killed off the fabricator as well. Oh no, that's a striker. Where's the fabber? There we go, couple of fabs killed there, so that bottlenecked that expansion. And there's still 2 strikers around who can just excuse me, who can be a bit of a nuisance to Broom going forward. Here's Pain having another scout, seeing what's going on, seeing if Broom was re-expanding at all, just getting up that, keeping that intel going, making sure. Sees another expansion down the centre there. Looks like Broom was able to kill off a fab in the centre here. Here we go again. Just look at all of this raiding that Pain is doing. He's all over the place. But look, did you see that? That was both gorgeous and disgraceful at the same time. Broom using his fabs to reclaim the strikers. Unfortunately, 2 fabs is not going to be able to reclaim all of this, but they saved themselves by doing that. Something else I see a lot of, actually, is, well, it's both that, but combat fabs doing it as well. Combat fabs reclaiming attacking units. And I also see, if you can manage it, heavy micro to... as a fab that's getting attacked or is trying to run away, it'll build power generators as something is pushing it. So every shot basically hits and kills a power generator that's blocking it, which just gives a few bombers a bit more time to come around or drop some payloads, or any units in the area to come around and kill the attackers. So a couple of ideas for micro there for you guys who are not yet in the upper echelons of the PA ranked scene. Let's have a look at where Broom disappeared off to into the orbital space. Where is his commander? Looks like it's gone to Slope. It's a slippery slope from here. And there is a relatively safe P-gen field. Power line is going to be off-world. So what you tend to get recommended on your main planet is to not really have a big vulnerable power line. And at least if you do have one, surround it by factories so that it's really hard to get to. What you'll tend to see players doing is sort of building their power in a line as they build their factories. So like this is an okay sort of power line, but you know, just bear that in mind, because of course power is a prime target for harassment. As is metal, but of course, you know, you got 2 resources, don't lose either of them ideally. So here we come with another attack, though Pain hasn't really started upping his army's damage yet in terms of upgrading the constitution and composition of his armies. He's still very striker heavy. He's gradually bringing in more and more tanks, the drifters here, and a few sparks and grenadiers as well, as he moves into trying to do more attacking rather than quick fire hit and runs, as it were. Now he wants to attack and get a bit of ground as well, rather than just slow his opponent down. Broom, though, being really sneaky with a couple of airfabs. If you can get away with it, do it. There we have 2 airfabs getting away with it. Expanded to mechs on Pain's side of the map. Broom ready to push in here. One turret will not be able to save all of this. Especially not with that rotation speed. Down it goes. Fortunately, Payne has a few units here to be able to deal with this, but he might even need to use his commander on the off chance. Got a couple of spinners in there, so you don't want to send any bombers over. But Broom decides, you know, I'm not going to attack your army. I've killed your expansion. That's what I wanted to do. I'm going to come back. So that keeps his numbers high. It keeps his threat presence on this expansion high. So Payne now has to constantly be aware that that army is around here somewhere, right? So you don't need to overextend your units. If you've achieved your goal, don't overextend. As I've been posting in the PA Discord recently, I've been posting a few pictures of my copy of The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And as is the famous quote, you know, seek battle after the victory has been won. That's misquoted, I think, as it should really just be the victorious ensures victory and then battle, or something like that. But it's, you know, much of a muchness. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Let's have a look at what's going on off-world. Been a while there. Yeah, look at this. Just before we go off-world, that army that has a presence is still on Payne's side of the map. It's still here, and it's just going to reroute all the way around. Either attack this expansion, or just thread between the lake and this platform here, and just come into the back of the base that's very, very undefended. But let's have a look at Sloop. Here we are. Broom is over there. He has the orbital space, and he's expanded really heavily on these other planets. His eco is now starting to pull away from Payne. 250 to 209, although the armies, the fabricators, and the factories are relatively comparable. Of course, Broom has more fabricators because he's on more planets. Yet to really get over to Summit, though. Meanwhile, what's Payne's game? Well, he's managed to expand out to this whole area on this side of the map. And he's got it as a nice staging point here. He's got a sizable army defending it, and he's building up multiple factories with his fabs over on this side. So this is going to be a real threat to Broom going forward, because these factories are constantly going to spew out units that are a stone's throw away from his base. Well, that's a problem. Well, the T2 is coming out now as we see a few levelers rolling up the battlefield there. From Payne, getting a little swamped by strikers. Strikers will have no way of getting through a mixed army like this, though. Absolutely none. Unless they really, really outnumber. But look at these. They're not massive death blobs. They're just attacking forces, right? They're keeping Broom on his toes. The only problem with these is that they're not actually getting far into the base. So here we have this attack force from Payne coming around the rocks now, and we'll start to deal a little bit of damage to these factories. And there's not a lot defending them, so Broom's going to have a problem over here. He's going to have to bring his air across, but there's spinners there to defend. And that means that he's not giving his air onto this side of the map here. So Payne's going to push in with these T2, kill off these fabs, and knock this expansion back as well, in order to save his base. But down goes his orbital, or at least it should do here, really. Then again, if I was Payne, I wouldn't really focus on the orbital factory right now. I'd focus on that power line. It's juicy. It's what you got into the base for, is that power line. He killed a few. Stopped the factories, stopped the fabricators. There's still a lot there, though, because Broom is now working with 2 planets worth of eco. Hence, the factory and the Fababoom. 24 and 30 now, plays 20 and 12 respectively. The army count is going up, although a lot of that is air. But, all that being said, Broom cannot deal with this army right now. He's got nothing to answer it. He's got a lot of strikers, though. A lot of strikers coming in. 40. Can that swamp this force? Let's have a look. If it gets close enough, it might be able to do some damage. There we go, getting in. Levelers going down. Sparks there as well, soaking up a bit of the damage, but they don't go in. They just sort of drive by for the most part. That was a bit of a miss micro there from Broom. He might have been worrying about the other side of his base. Pain now into the orbital layer as well, as we can see in the picture-in-picture down on the bottom. Let's just move that camera around a little bit more. And you can see the moon in the distance. There we go. So that's Pain's attack force gone, but that's done some work. Expansion gone, factories gone. Stemming the flow of replacement units. Broom, though, thinking, I need to get me some T2. This seems like the bomb. So, he really wants to get that started, and pronto. He's got a lot of fabs doing it. 3, 4 fabs there on the T2. In theory, or it's just 2? No, he's just going it with 2. No, 3. 3 fabs, I can't count today. Meanwhile, though, Broom still pressuring with another force and air support this time as well. With that heavy striker composition, Bumblebees, if they can get a run off, that will be nasty. There are a few spinners in there. They decide better of it, but they were too close and committed already, so the bombers are gone. And there, that tank force got a little bit too close to comfort there, having to pull back. The sheller as well, a little weakened. Don't want the shellers too far in against that swamp of strikers. Not what you want at all. How many strikers is he building? Look at that ratio. Take out the air. My UI isn't working. But 63 strikers compared to everything else. That's a lot of strikers. But again, as we saw earlier from Pain's staging point here, he's just constantly threatening both sides now as Broom just starts to expand further and further away. I'm going to move out of Pain's base there and have a look at what Broom is up to on the other planets. He's got a lot of air fabs now, getting T2 mechs. So even as he loses his expansion on the main planet, he's keeping up in the eco because he's getting all of this T2 elsewhere. As long as he keeps this T2 factory alive and all of these fabbers, should be able to hold a foothold on this map. But he's gonna need it soon, because Pain's tank army is looking really, really nasty. T2 all over the place. And the thing is, when Broom finishes this, he can't just leave it be. He has to assist it out in order to get defensive units that are going to be doing things. And that's going to put even greater strain on his power consumption, which, as you can already see, is really not good for him right now. Pain, with a bit of a breathing space, going into the orbital there with an extra orbital factory. He wants to contest that and ensure that he has it. Let's have a look around the rest of the system, though, as he continues to do that. What's Broom's strats elsewhere? He's got T2 air here, so he could bring in some Phoenix across the system if he wants. Of course, Phoenix are the only T2 air unit that can travel interplanetary. And over on Summit, ooh, Broom has moved his commander to the wee little Summit. And Pain is eyeing it up. I don't know if Pain knows that Broom's commander is there. If he was paying attention at the right time, he would. But I doubt he was. Given the travel time, I doubt he was paying attention. But it's possible he heard the notification say, enemy commander detected or something like that. But because he's already seen it, possibly shouldn't have had that notification. So, it's going to be interesting. Though now really starting to clear house, flying by uncontested with all of his air. Down goes the orbital factory. The T2 factory still alive though. T2 units coming out now. Just needs a couple more and that will deal nicely. A couple more levelers will deal nicely with these tank forces here. Can Broom hold on long enough for this? Theoretically, it's possible. He has untold numbers of fabricators, and a lot are, surprisingly, on the base planet. Look at this. He is so intent on re-expanding. This is something a lot of players neglect later on into the game, after you've had that sort of mid-game tug and throw, and you're like, I kept re-expanding, I kept re-expanding. But you can't let up the gas. You just got to keep doing it. Keep doing it. It isn't over until the Fat Commander pops. Here we go from Broom, coming in with the leveler first. Should have gone with the strikers first there, the cannon fodder. There you go, see, look how that leveler's managing to close the distance as all the strikers and sparks are taking all that damage. And Broom all of a sudden has the initiative. He has the momentum now. He has a sizable tank force to come back down into the middle. Meanwhile, though, Pain pincering on the other side. More power going down and more factories. 2 will vanish. Broom rerouting his units there. Rerouting, sorry, is what I meant to say. Rerouting his units all the way back. His tanks come around from the back, dealing a little bit of damage. Not quite managing to take out factories here. They really should be focusing on doing just that. Ensuring a slow, crippling defeat of Broom. Broom needs to leverage his orbital might here. The fact that he has 2 other planets is a huge asset. And the fact that Pain, you know, look at the ecos. 800 to 400. Broom has held on. It could be the game winner. The fact that he's held on and the fact that Pain hasn't managed to get onto those other planets. Let's just have a quick look around. Slope. T2 everywhere. And loads of orbital defenses now as well. Umbrellas going up all over the place. Again, area build those umbrellas, drag off the edge of the planet. It'll automatically set up a queue all over the planet for you, if you're unaware. And he's got about 3 different lots of fabs doing that, hence the really weird build queue of all of these things. Like if I just click on one group, that looks like it's finished most of it. Oh, strange. Okay. Anyway, and on the last map here, Summit. Not going for T2 yet. He really should. Where are the T2 fabs? You can get some Halleys rushed up. His commander's not on the main planet. All he has to do is keep Pain at bay on the main planet. Stop Pain from taking out his base and make Pain really focus here. Because Pain is not in the orbital game. Look at this. He's nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. How many fighters has he got there? He's got 12, so he can, you know. But the thing is, the window for invading these other planets is running out. Otherwise, he's going to have to use unit cannons and nukes and all sorts of orbital techniques. And the problem is, Broom's eco at 800, he could rush up a couple of Halleys with that eco. All he would have to do is pause his factories on here for a little bit while he held off on defense for a little bit longer, and then pop a Halley. It's only 2 Halleys, that's not a lot of metal. Especially if you have loads of fabs like he does. 106 fabricators. Most of them are, unfortunately, air fabricators, but still, that is a ton. A ton of fabricators. Problem is, not a lot of them are T2 fabricators, so it would actually build relatively slowly in terms of channeling of stuff. But here we go. Another big push from Pain now. The scale grows. As Broom continues to defend. Look at all of these shellers now. Broom is just trying to defend. That's all he's trying to do. He's not trying to push yet. So many shellers coming out now. There's all of these units now from Pain coming into the range of these shellers. Too much T1 to push into a T2 focused base there. There's a Vanguard in there soaking a lot of damage. Gets its area shots off. Pain now line dancing, line commanding his forces to split up to try and do maximum little niggles of damage, but he just can't get in to deal with that T2 factory. If he kills off that T2 factory, that's it. Broom's foothold on this planet is gone, but how much longer will Broom need this planet? Because Broom's eco isn't here anymore. Let's have a look at how many metal extractors Broom has on this planet. 2. 2. 2. 2 metal extractors. And yet he has 900 eco compared to Pain. Pain has missed a trick here. I think he's forgotten that it's an orbital system, perhaps? Or at least is underestimating the amount of eco that you can accrue from the other planets here. And here we go. We've got a nuke on the launch pad there. For Broom now. It's ready to be launched. He's got an umbrella over his base, so even Pain coming in to try and deal with stuff over here, it's not possible. The nukes are coming. Again, Pain, what are you doing? There's no reason to send them over. You're just losing metal for absolutely zero reason. Yes, you're about to kill off the base, but you're going to need every Avenger you can muster in order to do the damage in the other orbital spaces. What a bizarre play. And the thing is, that nuke is almost ready. But is Pain aware? No, he won't be. Let's have a look. From Pain's perspective, he knows nothing about what's on the surface of these planets. I mean, he tried to build a teleporter over there, but that was about it. I mean, he has no clue. And there we go, the nuke is ready. So, all Broom needs to do now is scout a little bit. There we go, it's away. Where's it going to land? Probably right in the middle here. Or on the... yeah, there you go. Boing, and the commander is weakened there. He's caught in that explosion, down to 13%. And he knows the problem now. Using his T2 to rush up an anti-nuke, but is Broom too quick with a second nuke? He's not there yet. But even if that nuke fails, Broom has more than enough eco to rush up some Halleys now. In comes the scouting again, seeing the damage. Assessing the damage, sees a weakened commander. Pops the nuke, tries to anticipate the commander's running position, and the anti-nuke is not ready. It's not ready. It's all over. As long as Broom anticipated the commander's running direction, it's going to be close. It's going to be so close. Oh! He gets hit on the outskirts. Unbelievable, but the anti-nuke is gone. He's not able to build another one. He's lost his T2 fabs. Pain doesn't have a T2 factory all of a sudden. Well, he does all the way over there, but it's in the wrong place. And another nuke is ready and away. Is Broom scatter nuking now? But Pain is far behind. As long as he can keep his commander safe, he might have a chance here. But there you go. Look at this scatter nuke. All through the base, all the power gone. Fortunately, Pain has been producing it elsewhere, anticipating the apocalypse, as it were. Broom bringing up some orbital radar over there on Summit. Just ready to go and scout It's just constant nuke production over here. It's nasty stuff. Don't think he knows where the... Oh, he does! He knows where the commander is! Is that it? Is that the final nuke? I think so. Ooh, 6% still. That one didn't quite get him. He just gets a waft of dust from behind. Broom playing whack-a-mole. Don't come back, Commander. You want to get away. You want to get away. But I want to see a planet smash. Broom with his eco disappointing us. I mean, he's getting a unit cannon up now, but... He's got all that eco. He's got Summit. 2 Halleys. Done. Sorted. And he's there ready with another nuke on the table now. There really isn't a lot that Payne can do here. Here we go with all of these radar. 8 radar to really find out where this commander is. See the direction that he's coming in. And we're getting a second nuke up as well. And the reason that second nuke is going up is to try and catch the commander off course. So if he detects nuclear launch detected or whatever, he'll then run in the opposite direction where the second nuke will generously be waiting. But I see a lot of boom bots being loaded into the unit cannon as well. So Broom is trying to be stylish. Thing is, I think he forgot about, as I say, the whole planet smashing thing. That would be ultimate style, but he's disappointing us somewhat here. And he doesn't see the commander. All of that. And he doesn't see the commander. Unbelievable. But which dot is the commander, I wonder? That's the question. Broom now building up some power as well. He's really trying to... There we go! That's what we were waiting for. That's what I was waiting for. Very nice. Very nice. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous there, Broom. I'm proud of you, mate. Although, as I've been making a habit of talking about in my recent casts, there is a certain person who will be disappointed, and that is Marshal Grizzly, because you did not win with the colonels. It is a problem that only the Frenchman can solve. He would have won this game with colonels about 20 minutes ago, But I'm sure if he is watching this, he will approve of a big bada-boom. I make no apology. You thought you'd got through a cast without the French accent and the colonels. Well, you were wrong. You were wrong. And there we go. Just make sure your commander's off world, Broom. There he goes. And the launch occurs. And that is game over. Very well played there from Broom and Payne as well. It was just such a pity that Payne didn't quite manage to capitalise on his early momentum that he got and chase Broom into the orbital space. If he'd managed to do that, this game would have been very, very different indeed. Well, thank you very much, folks, for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop a like below. It really helps me out. And also, let me know in the comments things that you learnt from this particular game. Also helps me out. And of course, share with your friends. If they like explosions, if they're interested in astronomy, if they like robots, if they like war, if they like strategy games, send them my way. But that's all I've got for you this time, folks. And until next time, have a good one.